Have you ever wondered what life would be like if money wasn't a concern? Because you had so much of it, you couldn't spend it all in 100 lifetimes? Not millionaire rich. Not billionaire rich. We're talking about the trillionaire kind of rich. This is the story of the House of Saud, the royal family of Saudi Arabia. A dynasty so wealthy, so powerful, and so secretive. Most people don't even know the true scale of their fortune. Forget celebrity mansions or tech billionaires' penthouses. This family lives in palaces with golden faucets, underground ballrooms, billion-dollar yachts, and yes, even underwater meditation rooms. And what makes this even more fascinating? They rarely show it off, because their wealth isn't just about luxury, it's about power. And today, we're taking you behind the closed doors of the world's richest and most mysterious family. Welcome to the secret life of the House of Saud. The House of Saud's story begins with sand, struggle, and then something black and priceless. In 1932, Abdulaziz ibn Saud unified the tribes of the Arabian Peninsula and formed a kingdom. At the time, Saudi Arabia was one of the poorest nations on earth. Its economy relied mostly on agriculture and religious pilgrimages. But then, in 1938, they struck oil. And not just any oil field. Underneath the desert lay one of the largest reservoirs of crude oil the world had ever seen. The discovery transformed the kingdom into a global powerhouse, and the royal family into Earth's wealthiest dynasty. Today, it's estimated that the House of Saud controls a net worth exceeding $1.4 trillion. That's not a typo. That's more money than Apple, Amazon, and Google combined. And with that kind of money comes a lifestyle beyond anything you can imagine. Let's start with their homes. Now, when most people think of luxury, they picture a Beverly Hills mansion or a London penthouse, maybe even a castle. But the House of Saud, they redefine the term. Take, for example, Chateau Louis XIV, an estate near Versailles in France that looks like it was pulled straight from a 17th century fairy tale. Except this fairy tale cost $320 million. And inside, gold-covered doors, ceilings that literally rain water into the indoor swimming pool, and an underwater meditation room surrounded by koi fish and sturgeon in the moat. Yes, you heard that right, an underwater room for thinking. That's not luxury. That's surreal. But that's only one of many properties. There's also the Urga Palace in Riyadh, used for entertaining presidents and monarchs. The Al Yamama Palace, where daily royal duties are carried out. The Al Yamama Palace complex even includes its own mini-city within the capital, guarded by giant walls filled with Italian marble, priceless art, and 400 rooms for guests, staff, and royalty. And when they're tired of those, there's always the luxury apartments they own in Manhattan, including a penthouse at 432 Park Avenue, one of the tallest residential buildings in the world. Because when you rule a kingdom, one home just isn't enough. But ground-based palaces are just the beginning. When Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman wants to escape, he doesn't hop on a commercial flight. He boards a custom Airbus A380, worth $450 million. That includes a concert hall, a Turkish bath, and even a garage for his supercars. Yes, a garage on a plane. He also owns a Boeing 747 converted into a flying palace. Because why not have two? In the skies, he floats in unimaginable luxury. But on the water, he rules. Meet the Pegasus 8A $120 million yacht that looks like a Bond villain's hideout. If Bond villains had gold-plated spas, theaters, and Michelin-level dining rooms. But even this floating palace was outshined when the prince acquired Serene, a $550 million super yacht originally built for a Russian vodka tycoon. This yacht has its own helicopter hangar, submarine, swimming pools, gyms, spas, and a suite that could rival any six-star resort. There's even a rumor that one of the world's most expensive paintings, Salvator Mundi, allegedly by Leonardo da Vinci, is hanging aboard Serene, a painting worth $450 million just sitting on a yacht. Most people frame a poster, The House of Saud frames Da Vinci and sails it through the Mediterranean. And yet, their wealth isn't just spent on palaces and art. They also gift it away in ways you've probably never heard of. After Saudi Arabia's national football team beat Argentina in the 2022 World Cup, every player received a Rolls-Royce Phantom. Not a medal, not a bonus, a $500,000 luxury car each. When rapper Lil Wayne had legal troubles in Saudi Arabia, Crown Prince MB's gifted him a Frank Muller watch and a Lamborghini just to smooth things over. And when Meghan Markle married Prince Harry, she received diamond earrings valued at over $500,000 from, you guessed it, the Saudi royals. Their generosity isn't casual. It's strategic. It's royal diplomacy wrapped in silk and chrome. But this family isn't just about gifting or indulgence. They're investors, titans, quietly shaping the world behind the scenes. Through their public investment fund, one of the largest sovereign wealth funds on the planet, they control billions in stakes across industries. Uber, Boeing, Disney, Starbucks, Facebook, Lucid Motors. They even own Newcastle United, a Premier League football club that was floundering until the Saudis arrived and turned them into a global powerhouse overnight. And that's not all. In 2023, they launched the biggest disruption in golf history with 54 Golf, luring top players from the PGA Tour with prize money so big, it forced the entire sport to change forever. It's not about the games. It's about influence. Control the league, and you control the headlines. Control the headlines, and you control perception. That's the real game the royal family plays. But the biggest move of all? Neom. It's not just a city. It's a $1 trillion vision that's rewriting the definition of civilization itself. Neom, short for New Future, is Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's most ambitious creation yet. Announced in 2017, it's a project that sounds more like a sci-fi screenplay than a government initiative. But it's real, and it's already under construction in the Tabuk province, near the borders of Egypt and Jordan. The centerpiece, a futuristic city called The Line, a 170-kilometer-long linear metropolis with mirrored skyscrapers stretching across the desert. No roads, no cars, no pollution, just high-speed rail connecting every point in under 20 minutes. The entire city is powered by renewable energy. Artificial intelligence governs daily life. Drone taxis replace traffic lights. Robots handle maintenance, cleaning, and logistics. It's not just green, it's sentient. The Line is expected to house 9 million residents, living in vertically stacked neighborhoods within walking distance of all essentials: work, leisure, education, and healthcare. And all of it controlled from a central, AI-driven operating system that adapts to human behavior in real time. But Neom doesn't stop there. There's Oxagon, a floating industrial city on the Red Sea that defies conventional engineering. Then there's Trojena, a luxury ski resort in the mountains of Saudi Arabia, with artificial snow, year-round skiing, and even a man-made freshwater lake in the desert. And Sindala, a mega luxury island designed to rival Monaco, built for the ultra-elite with private marinas, underwater golf courses, and designer shopping experiences. It's not just the future, it's an entirely different timeline, brought to life by the wealth, ambition, and unrelenting vision of the world's richest family. Still, for all their power, mystery clings to the family like shadows in a palace corridor. They rarely give interviews. They never flaunt wealth in the typical influencer way. Their Instagram feeds aren't filled with selfies. Their private moments are protected by layers of secrecy, protocol, and custom. This invisibility is intentional, because true power doesn't brag. It moves the world without needing to be seen. But behind the gilded walls and gold-plated tissue boxes, there is something even more fascinating. The House of Saud isn't just investing in palaces and jets. They're investing in a new image. Through charities like the Misk Foundation, they fund education, entrepreneurship, and art. Through humanitarian efforts, they've given billions in aid to Syria, Palestine, Yemen, and more. They champion reforms, like lifting the ban on women driving, or reopening cinemas after decades of silence. Yes, there is controversy. There are critics. But there is also an undeniable transformation happening in the desert. A kingdom once closed off, now opening to the world, powered by a trillion-dollar family with one hand in tradition, and the other in the future. So, what does life look like when you belong to the world's richest family? It's golden. It's guarded. It's global. It's secret yachts and underground nightclubs. It's dinner in one palace and breakfast in another continent. It's building cities that don't exist yet, and reshaping industries with a single wire transfer. But above all, it's a life you'll never see on a reality show. Because the House of Saud doesn't need to be famous. They already own everything the famous dream about. And that is the secret life of the world's richest family.